This is the first estate, and this lesson centers on poets, a.k.a. makars, sold in America. Now on your screen, you see the word Sanskrit. Now, of this word, I want to concentrate on this part, place for sacrifice. So as we move on, brings us here, happy makar Sanskriti. Now, this, of course, is India writing, okay? And it's a celebration day, as you can see. So we move on. Strong's Concordance. This book contains the definition of every word in the King James Bible, Old and New Testament. Within it, we go to the word black. And then top left-hand corner of your screen, that's where you can track me with the biblical verses I will be using throughout this lesson. I want to go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. Okay? So, we go here. Judah means praised, son of Jacob by Leah. So we've established that Jacob's son, or sons, are black. After the division of the kingdom, the name of this tribe was applied to one of the kingdoms, which included the tribes of Judah and Benjamin, with a portion of Simeon and Dan, and had Jerusalem for its metropolis. After the carrying away of the 10 tribes and after the Babylonian exile, this name is applied to the whole land of Israel. So, brings us here, once again, to the word Jew. Now, Jew means Judah, okay? Interchangeable, they mean the same thing. So as we go here to the Pseudepigrapha, Volume 2, Gnostic text, okay? Now, in here, we're going to go to the bottom of this page in Volume 2, last paragraph. So let's do it. So, such an interpretation, however, has not taken into account how Louis has situated this writing within Greek ethnographical literature. Louis noted that Greek ethnographers sought to classify peoples according to common characteristics. When certain peoples had characteristics in common, they were often linked genealogically by the ethnographers. For the present discussion, Louis noted that the Jews were considered descendants of the Indian philosopher by contemporaries of a.k.a. Okay? Now, this is, of course, the pseudo a.k.a. All right? So, all the way back down, right here. All right, so we've covered that. So, Indian and Jew is synonymous, means the same thing. And we know that the Jews are Negro, black, the true Jews, blacks of America. Brings us here, India. Okay, so I'm not going to read this, but you can read this in your leisure time, as you're going through the video. You can stop it, slow it down, whatever. But anyway, India, all right? So we come here. Now, here we have word, and the key is here, A-M-E-R, Amer. Now, in the book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 21, okay, Naphtali is a hind let loose, he giveth goodly words. Now, Naphtali being one of the 12 sons of Jacob, which is a Negro. He giveth goodly words. Naphtali is a hind let loose. He giveth goodly words. That word hind is a common name, I believe, in India for females. So here we have Amer, means America. All right. So America is written within the script. So Webster's Dictionary, 1828, Native of America originally applied to the Aboriginals or copper-colored races found here by the Europeans, but now apply to the descendants of Europeans born in America. Now, my point is this, that the extent of the slave trade, which really took place here in America, we are prisoners of war in our own land because America is the true land of the children of Israel. This is the Holy Land. We were invaded but most people, if not all people, believe outside of the scholars that it was just the Europeans who did this. No. Anyone who's not a Negro or black played a part in it. The Hamites, which are the people living on the continent of Africa, they were part of it. As we know, people in India, they played a part in it. They even celebrated. Okay, the continent of Asia itself. All right, everybody, the people who call themselves Native Americans, they played a part in it. Okay, so they all had a hand in this. Anyone who's not of the 12 tribes of Israel, and even to some extent, we did play a part in it because the children of Dan also, played a part in our downfall. All right. Now, Dan being one of the tribes of Israel that didn't receive an inheritance and were bitter because of that. So anyway, in the book Deuteronomy, chapter 16, verse 3, states, Thou shalt eat no leavened bread with it. 7 days shalt thou eat unleavened bread therewith, even the bread of affliction. For thou camest forth out of the land of Egypt in haste, that thou mayest remember the day when thou came forth out of the land of Egypt all the days of thy life. So, the bread of affliction. We're going to go to the key, and in the key it says 1. Okay, follow me. Now, here we have Lord Jehovah. See, when we go up to the key, it is Yah. So 1 Yah. All right. Now here, next frame, we go back to the key immediately, and the key says, look, 1 Yah. All right. Now, the word is ship. So, in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, let's go there, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Now, that adds to my point that we brought ourselves here. We didn't come over here on slave ships. No, we are Moors. And Moor means ship. Okay? We were navigators of the sea. Even Jesus himself used to come here on ships. Okay? So, we brought ourselves here. Then we were invaded by the Gentile nations. Okay? After we went throughout the world and were teaching them how to live, and they adopted all of our customs. Then, once they stole or received or got what they wanted from us, then, they changed up. Okay? And it's still It still exists to this day. All right? So just keep that in mind. We did not come over from Africa. No, we were already here in the greatest land in the world. God's not going to give the greatest land in the world to Gentiles. He's going to give it to his own people. So we go here. And in the book of Romans, chapter 2, verse 6, who will render to every man according to his deeds. Okay? So render, in other words, sell. Who will sell? Okay? Render to a man according to his deeds. Your punishment fits you accordingly. Okay? You reap what you sow. Okay? So the word is sell. All right? As we go here, you see the word sell. And up here, the key is makar. All right? So in the book of Zechariah, chapter 11, verses 4 and 5. Okay? Thus saith the Lord my God, feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. Once again, Dan means judge. Their own shepherds pity them not, because their own brethren, the Danites, also turned on us. And these are, once again, I have to reiterate, these are not Hamites, Danites, okay? These are our people. But the Hamites, which are the people living on the continent of Africa, like I said, like every other Gentile, which they are, they played a role in our downfall, and they took the goods as well from us. All right? But the word here is makar. Now we're going to go deeply into what makar is. So, go here and add the word makar. Oh, hold it up just a bit too much. So, is a term from Scottish literature for a poet or bard, often thought of as a royal court poet. So, these makars or poets or bards were incredible Negroes. Okay, they were writers, singers. Okay, because that's what a singer is, a poet. These were book writers, a.k.a. also known as the Bible. Okay, remember the prophets. So, as you can see here, St. Andrew's Cathedral. Okay, so I'm going to allow you to read this at your own leisure. So we have page 1, these makars. Page 2. So you'll get a chance to read it because I'm not going to read it. My shows are usually very succinct. I like to keep them as brief as possible. Okay, once again. Now, I will concentrate on the highlighted area, Renaissance court of King James. Yes, King James, we know, had a close relationship with the Moors because he himself was an Israelite, a Jew. Okay? So, blow this up, allow you to read this. And here we go, last page. Let's go up to the side there so I'm not interfering with any words. All right, so Shakespeare's birthplace in Stratford upon Avon. So, Shakespeare is known as the bard of all bards, bard meaning poet. So, in the book of Psalms, chapter 46, verse 3 and 9, though the waters therefore roar as a troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof. Selah. Jump down to verse 9. He maketh war to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow and cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariot in the fire. Okay, so in those two verses, you heard the word shake and spear. Okay, because you're going to come to learn that Shakespeare did write the Bible. Okay, and he is not who you have been told. Okay, he is. So, moving along. Stratford upon Avon. So, here we have straight, and you can see strat. Okay, and what it means. Okay, it has to do with water. Okay, all right, it has to do with water. And then Ford, once again, Ford has to do with water. All right, because the whole slave trade, Atlantic slave trade narrative is a parable within the Bible that most people can't understand. And Shakespeare himself wrote about it. So, proof of that would be the key right here. Avon, Stratford upon Avon. See? So, Shakespeare within the Bible. Stratford upon Avon. Remember, the key is very important to unlocking these mysteries. So when we go to the book of Genesis, chapter 15, verses 12 through 16, states this. And when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram. And lo, an horror of great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abram, Know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. And afterward shall they come out with great substance. And thou shalt go to thy fathers in peace. Thou shalt be buried in a good old age. But in the fourth generation they shall come hither again, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. Stratford upon Avon, or Avon, the Avon lady, that sweet smell. So, iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. Iniquity meaning Avon. All right? And who are these Amorites? Well, the Amorites are Israelites. All right? Now, as you can see, Amorite means sayer. Okay? One of the peoples of East Canaan and beyond the Jordan. All right? Disposed by the Israelites' incursion from Egypt. And these were Danites, because Dan was that bitter tribe, because they had no inheritance, because before the nation of Israel or Jacob was even formed, the Danites had already existed. We were all Danites, the black, the Negro, the children of Abraham, even Abraham's father, Terah. Okay, we were all known as Danites because Dan means judge, and we were the judges of this world, this planet, because it is ours. We are the stewards of it. Steward is an English name or Scottish, one of those. Anyway, steward means Lord of the land. King James is a steward. All right, so we were the Danites. So we, like I said, we existed before the tribes of Israel were even in existence. All right, but the majority of the Danites, the judges, were wicked. And God started to line with Abraham. All right, and then once they did come through Jacob, Dan still went off. He was named as one of the tribes, but he still was wicked. He had that in him. All right. So anyway, the Israelite and the Danites had a family feud. to say the least. But anyway, my point is this, that everyone outside of the white community that is not of the children of Israel played a part in slavery. That includes the East Indians. You see that they celebrate uh, that day of Makar. They have a celebration for that. And what they're celebrating is our sacrifice, the fact that we were sacrificed. Anyway, this has been the First Estate with another lesson, and until next time.